So, Scott, thanks for coming on and joining us today.
Thanks for having me, Jim. It's nice to see you.
You as well. As you know, I'm a huge fan of Treat Dreams Dessert Emporium. My good friend Kurt Trainer and I say that you are the Willy Wonka of ice cream. When you first opened, and I don't even remember how many years ago it was, and we discovered you for ourselves, I think we became maybe your top 2 customers, and my waistline shows it, but for good cause. So
hey, you were. There's a handful of people that I consider like the early regulars, and I put you in that boat. I put Kurt Trainer in that boat. That's one of the things that's helping me through this period is knowing that the regulars are still out there. I saw Kurt when I was making deliveries about a week ago. I try to pick a couple nights a week where I make the deliveries myself, and I think Whitney tipped me a 6-pack of beer, which probably lasted about a half hour.
Yeah.
And then the next delivery was literally Kurt Trainer, so it's always good to see them.
I love it. So tell us how your business started. I know you had a background more in the corporate world and shifted into sort of this dream of yours. So tell us a little of the background story. I'm sure you've told it 20 times, but regale us with that briefly and tell us how you ended up in Ferndale to start.
Sure. So I still start with ending up in Ferndale. It was more by accident. I lived in Birmingham for 20 years, maybe 15 years before opening it. I had originally signed a lease for a spot in Royal Oak, and I started working on the build out, and I knew it would become cost prohibitive. So it was a little bit disheartening. That was maybe one of the lowest moments when I didn't have a spot. So I got in my car and I got a list of all the Quiznos locations in the area because I knew that they were experiencing problems at that time. And literally, I think it was the last one I got to was the one that turned out to be my original location here in Ferndale. And as soon as I walked in, I kind of got the vibe that it wasn't going to be around much longer. And I made a deal with the owner of it and the landlord for my building, who's been my landlord for almost 10 years now. And that was 10 years ago, almost 10 years ago. It'll be 10 years of operation on August 13th. I open on Friday the 13th. I'm not a superstitious guy, so I say that that Ferndale found me as opposed to me finding Ferndale. But honestly, I don't think if I started this concept anywhere else, I wouldn't be here talking to you. Well, one, I wouldn't have known you, but
right.
But
Sure.
My business, I don't think would be in business.
Yeah, there's a bit of magic in Ferndale where people want to support local business, small mom and pops and entrepreneurship, and my business has flourished because of that. I've watched yours do the same, so
absolutely.
We're both fortunate for it.
Yeah, I say that all the time. I'm fortunate to be located in a community.
Yeah, that's incredible. And then you opened the second location for Treat Dreams in downtown Detroit. Has that been a boom for you? Obviously now it's probably fairly sleepy comparative to the Ferndale location, but because most of the businesses are closed downtown.
The Midtown store has been fantastic. So one of the best things I've done. Literally right the month that I opened, about 4 years ago, it took off and it was accepted by the community. I'd already had a customer base down there that would come up to Ferndale, and they might come up to Ferndale, every other week. But now I was seeing them every week there. So it's a great location.
I love it. And then tell us a bit, Scott, about how this COVID-19 and the overall shelter-in-place order has been affecting your business, and then pivot on how we as a community can support you.
Obviously, I'm also involved in Woodpile Barbecue, and unfortunately or fortunately, we finally opened our second location in Madison Heights in late December, but we didn't have a whole lot of time to get a customer base established there. Our Clawson location is still doing well, and it's covering the bills. We're able to keep people employed there. A little different story at Treat Dreams. Our revenue is down probably 75% here, and it makes sense because ice cream is such a communal experience. People, the line is in the summer and the spring is long here, but I don't see that as a negative. People come out knowing they're going to wait in a long line, but it moves quickly, and they're able to, catch up with people maybe they haven't seen in a while and talk about the different flavors that we do. And ice cream's always been that thing where you take your family out for it, as opposed to, bringing it home. Yes, people do that, and now that's all you can do is come in, grab it, and leave. And we're so thankful for everybody that still is supporting us. Actually, I'm in the process of doing a major pivot here, which I haven't really told too many people about yet. You're going to be you're going to be the newsbreaker on this.
Breaking news. I love it. Let's do it.
Yeah. But, there's a need for me to reevaluate the business strategy here. So what I've decided to do and what I've been working on for the last couple of weeks and hope to launch on May 1st is a new concept here called Farm to Market. And it's going to be an artisanal farmer's market with booths or stalls for the prepared foods. Like Treat Dreams will still be here. And when the world is ready for us to start scooping ice cream, directly into a cone or a cup, we'll be here to do that. But I'm also, contacting other businesses about sharing space, like for example, a bakery. But then, so in addition to that prepared food stuff, I want to set up an artisanal high-end farmers market where the farmers drop off their produce or their meats directly. I want them to tell their story. I want the consumers to know exactly where their food comes from and cultivate that relationship directly between the farmer and the end consumer, as well as all those great brands of Michigan-made products that you see in some grocery stores. And I hope this concept, and if any place would support this concept, I think it's Ferndale. So I'm just really fortunate with my location that I can pivot like you see a lot of people pivot.
Sure, yeah. I love the concept. I think that there is a space for that in Ferndale, which is awesome. We all want to shop local. Obviously, we like organic and, we like to know where our produce came from and other foods as well. So, yeah, I think that's a slam dunk and a no-brainer. And what I love about you is you've always taken your opportunity to create other opportunities for other people. You've always done your part to support others behind you. And I think that's really awesome and a tribute to who you are as a business owner. So thank you for all of that.
And I enjoy doing that. I always said that in the last 10 years, I've been fortunate to be in Ferndale and I've given back to the community whenever I can and establish those relationships with other local people, like making ice cream with the cinnamon rolls from Pinwheel Bakery. So I always said, at least in the back of my mind, that I'm making deposits in the Bank of Karma, and someday I'll need to make a withdrawal. And I think I'm at that point right now where it's coming back to me, and people are really, they've got so much great support from area people who want to help me out in this new endeavor.
Absolutely. I think what is interesting, I was talking with Chris and Tiffany Best from the Rust Belt Market earlier this week, and at the end, he's launching other businesses and finding ways to pivot himself. And it made my mind think of all the cool partnerships that could happen, space sharing, resource sharing, and whatnot, for all of us as small business owners to find ways to work together and closer and support one another. And I think some of the partnerships and new entrepreneurs that are going to come into Ferndale during this time are really exciting for all of us.
I think so too. I really do, Jim. And there's the silver lining in everything, right? And I think the silver lining that's going to come from this is that there's going to be that greater, Ferndale's always had great cooperation among businesses. I think, it'll be even more so going forward. And I think just people are going to maybe care about people more.
I really love it. Best ways for us as a community to support you. Should we be buying gift cards? Should we collaborate and start it's Ice Cream Tuesday night, although that may swamp you?
I've been trying to launch, delivery that Treat Dreams does. We've done a couple tests of it, and it seems to be working out pretty well. But we're going to, maybe kick it off forever starting tonight.
Awesome.
The weather's supposed to be very nice, and so we'll give it a go. So follow us on Facebook. We have probably the biggest inventory of pints we've ever had because I've just been hiring. I've just been employing my people as much as I can, and we've had scooping parties for days. So our pint freezer is full. We are open to come in. We practice safe social distancing, no more than 5 people. But we also have started carrying some things from other area restaurants and food trucks that you do need. You do need dinner, and I've been putting together meals for 2 that are frozen. That you could come in and get something from Cilantro that you could go take home and take and bake. And I've talked to almost every Ferndale restaurant, and we're going to be carrying that kind of product going forward as well. So
that's amazing. It's another amazing tribute to who you are as a business leader, bringing the other community businesses, supporting them by offering takeaway meals in your location. So you can grab dinner and dessert, more importantly, all in one spot. So thank you, Scott, for everything you do. We really appreciate you, and thanks for sharing with us.
Thanks, Jim. I really appreciate and everything that we've done in the past. You've been so great about reaching out to me, in the good times, about partnering and making a specific ice cream for you, and I can't thank you enough.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun for all of our clients as well who got to pick the flavors. So we'll do that again this summer for sure.
Yeah, and I would say, thanks to Ferndale. I love everyone in Ferndale, but I also love everybody in the surrounding communities that have found their way to Treat Dreams. I really, really, really appreciate we are open for business and can't wait to see you in person someday.
Sounds good. I'll see you soon, Scott. Maybe you'll deliver to my house soon.
Please.
All right. Take care,
Thanks,
buddy.
Jim.
See you later.
See ya. Bye.